How's it going? I wanted to tell you guys about the time I sold one of my dad's milk cows when my parents weren't home. So I've told this story a few times on my live shows and it always cracks people up. And they're always asking me, when are you going to do a video about Checkers the milk cow? So this is my video about Checkers. So Checkers was a Holstein cow we had. We didn't have many Holsteins. We usually had a small percentage of Holsteins and a higher percentage of Brown Swiss. Brown Swiss give richer milk or produce richer milk, and Holsteins produce more milk on volume on average. So we always had a few Holsteins mixed in to try to keep the volume up. But Checkers was one Holstein cow we had that did not produce a lot of milk. And Andy Y was this Amish cow dealer from Holmes County. He was a more modern Amish. I don't know if he was New Order or just modern. I think he was just modern Old Order. Not even sure of his last name. We just called him Andy Y. And he'd show up with a driver, a pickup truck, and a stock trailer, trying to buy Amish cows from the Amish farmers in our community for as cheaply as possible. And he'd take them back over and sell them to other Amish farmers for a profit. Well, one day he pulls in, and I was about 12 or 13 years old. My parents weren't home. And he pulls in, he said, "Hey, where's your dad?" I said, "My dad's not home." He said, "No problem." He said, "You got any cows you want to sell?" I said, "We got this one I think my dad's been wanting to sell." He's like, "Let's go take a peek." So we walked out and we looked at this cow and I said, "This is Checkers and this is the one I'm, pretty sure my dad wants to sell." He's like, "I'll give you $500 for her. She doesn't look like she gives a lot of milk." I says, "She gives more milk than it looks like, And I said, "And I won't take less than 700 for her." This was about 20, 25 years ago. 700 was a pretty decent price for a cow that didn't give a lot of milk. He's like, "That's too much. How about 550?" I said, "Nope, nothing less than 700. And he said, "Well, I guess I'll come back when your dad gets home. When's he going to be here?" I said, "About 2 to 3 hours. So he gets in the truck and leaves, and about an hour and 15, hour and a half later, he pulls back in, and he had one other cow in his trailer, and he must not have had a good day. And he says, "Is that cow still for sale?" And I said, "Yep, sure is." He's like, "How much?" I said, $700. And he gets out his checkbook, writes a check on the spot, and we loaded it up, and he was out of there before my dad got there. My dad gets home, and he is like, "What happened?" So I told him, and he was like, I handed him the check, and he was like, that's not enough money." I said, "Yeah, it is. You would have sold her for less than that." And he's like, "I don't know if I was ready to sell her yet." I said, "Hey, she wasn't giving a lot of milk, and I saved you the cost of having to ship her to the auction." So in the end, I didn't get into any trouble for it. But that is the story of Checkers.